We're going to do Oracle of the Seven Energies again today, kind of talk about the energies. We're getting ready for that Aries full moon happening Monday. So we're starting to we're already in those energies and starting to feel them. This is going to be a big one as it's bringing back themes that we kind of were working through last year. We'll get into that in a minute, but just give me a minute while I find this video. I get it set up and shared out. If you're just finding me, take a second to go ahead and say hi, leave a comment, drop a comment, especially if you're trying to get cards and things like that. Make sure you're also sharing this video, especially if you're trying to get cards and things like that. And just give me a minute while I'm sharing this out. We used these cards yesterday. I thought I'd bring them back for today. This is going to be my favorite moon. I always say that, as this is actually the harvest moon. It's the moon closest to the equinox. It actually is the harvest moon, so bringing a powerful energy. We also have the Draconids and Orionid meteor showers this month, which is really, really nice. And of course, some other powerful alignments. October packs a punch. We'll say it brings some big energies in a really good way. It brings a lot of positive energy at us. Starting with this harvest moon, this is a great time where if you've been trying to manifest something, it comes back around, right? Whatever seeds you've been planting, whatever thoughts you've been putting out all day, we tend to create out of that. I always say this is how we create reality. So whatever you've been kind of tending to will come back around for that harvest moon, meant to be in a positive way. It's meant to bring a lot of positive energy, abundance, and rewards. Okay, not going to go too into the astrology. I put an article up on my website kind of talking about it this morning, so if you want to check out more of the energies, you guys can always check it out on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. Make sure you are checking out my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I have lots of healings, clearings, and activations on there for you. I have psychic and medium readings on there, and I teach tons of classes like Reiki and Sakan. So make sure you are. If you need me, go ahead and book me on my website. We're just going to do Oracle the 7 energy cards. I did these yesterday, but let's do these once again and kind of see what's going on. If you guys are able to send PayPal donations or sign up and be a supporter or send stars, please do. It's an awesome way you can give something back if you're enjoying the content on my page. So if you send stars, I'm going to try to give you a psychic shout out. But you can always send them just because. Okay. So let's get started. Make sure you guys have left a comment and shared this out. If you can send stars, make sure you do. I see Sarah readings. Close encounters. I love this because this is my spirit symbolism with the butterfly. One way that spirit can send us messages and symbolism. I love to decode dreams and reality. To read reality, right? We're learning how to read reality and to read the signs, to read the subtle messages, which might not be as loud and obvious as you think. They can be things in the backdrop, in the background, right? They could be, it's just like if you have a dream and you don't remember much and you remember a certain sign or symbolism, you can go look it up. Same with our reality as well too. Spirit loves to send us messages that might be subtle or not so subtle, and butterflies are one of my favorite little visitors, as they very much travel between worlds and dimensions. But they're oftentimes your loved one in spirit actually visiting you, by the way. Don't swat the butterfly away. Like, it's them actually sending you signs, but also them actually visiting. I love the butterfly because it very much represents the etheric, the light body symbolism, and it is a powerful messenger of spirit too. Now, I love this card too because it has much more messages coming through to me. Perhaps you're someone in this lifetime working on overcoming mental fears and not allowing them to cage or imprison you or to limit you in some type of way. Sometimes our ego builds the confines and we don't notice, and it makes us feel safe and secure, but we're kind of in a little box. This is getting out of your box, and I love that. It's like seeing the big picture can help us to do that, trying new things, opening up new doors, right? Stuff like this kind of coming through. So this is your spirit help coming through. And usually when I deal with the butterflies, less spirit guides, more loved ones in spirit trying to send you a message and trying to get through to you. So perhaps you're someone that's kind of noticing that you have loved ones around you that are trying to get your attention. They're trying to help you. They're trying to guide you. And they're trying to help you with the spiritual work that we do here, which is to heal certain things. So if you're someone that is, I don't want to use the word plagued, but it's the message coming through, plagued by negative thoughts or, thinking about things that aren't that great, to really work on that, because this is going to help open you up and unlimit you in a huge way and to get you out of any of that stress, worry, overthinking patterns. So you have loved ones that are trying to help you with your healing journey. Be mindful if you find yourself, trailing off into the negative on the mental level. We do a lot of our work there with the mental realm, we'll say. Okay, David Curtin, Earth Magic. Tapping into the elements that you're great at working at. I was thinking this morning, I have a air moon, so I really love the Libra season. It's my element, energy, right? Obviously, energy is my element, but I was thinking that because, oftentimes we love to decode our sun signs and things like that, but perhaps our moon sign tells us a little bit more about what element we're good at working with, I suppose. I just like to come into this stuff. So if you guys check your moon sign, just kind of check where that's at. It might give you a good idea of what element you're pretty good at. And I know everyone's different and stuff like that, but it'll give you great insight because the moon rules our inner world, right? And our magic and things like that too. Tapping into elemental magic, tapping into the magic of the earth. The earth brings us everything that we need: abundance, positive energies, transmutation, grounding energy. We need grounding. Well, it depends, right? Depends on what element you're working with, but we need grounding these energies. It's actually our job to absorb and anchor these energies into the collective grid. So let's just think of the earth collective grid, right? It's the grid. We are here absorbing a lot of energy being beamed into the planet. It's running through us, down the crown, through our chakras, but we need to ground a lot of the time. And when we don't ground, we don't integrate the energies, right? I hate to say this. So if you're always, go, overworking and never stopping, never resting, you're not grounding, you're going to not get the full benefits out of these energies. We need to rest and we need to ground at times. Right? And that really helps make us feel a lot better. And sometimes maybe, you're doing that and you're really good at that, but for some people, you guys aren't getting outside enough and you're needing to actually make that a daily practice. So grounding is really important. It's much more than that. That's just the bare minimum of staying grounded. There's so much magic to be found in nature and kind of working with those energies, harnessing those energies, tapping into those energies and kind of stuff like that too. So being guided to work more with earth magic. I love that because, this could be working with crystals, liquid earth energy, herbs grown out of the earth, things like that. We can do that in so many different ways to we're talking working our magic and stuff like that in many ways. Even the foods that we eat, hopefully a lot of them are grown in the earth, right? Okay, or from the earth. It's meant to be like that. We're not supposed to be having all that packaged stuff or whatever, another conversation. And so, this can go in many different ways too. We're meant to be, connecting with that energy all of the time in everything that we're doing. So finding a lot of magic in nature and working with the elements, the earth element. Rebecca, good morning. Feeling the world was talking about this too. Some of you guys are sensitive to the collective. Now, sometimes this could be, and we see these waves of different things with the collective grids. This could be obviously feeling other people. What do empaths do? You can sit in a room with a stranger and probably tell what kind of mood they're in, what kind of vibe they're in, if they got something going on. Oftentimes, you guys might even be able to tell things about people that they might not even see within themselves. You're like, what? You're trying to tell someone something and they can't acknowledge it, and then later they might come to this realization. But this is on a broader level. A lot of you guys might be actually feeling the collective as a gift. So this means you might be sensitive to the collective energies, and empaths can be sensitive to different energies. We were just talking about the earth energy. Some of you guys are sensitive to earth-based energies, but this is more of the collective as a whole, which is really just coming back to that state of oneness, by the way. So a lot of you guys wake up and it's like you can kind of feel everyone else, and then, oh my God, you can feel the whole planet. Right? So this is an ability and a gift. However, sometimes you're needing to shield yourself from these energies if there's a lot of negative collective energies flying around at different times. And I'm not going to go into that rant. You guys don't want me to. But at different times there might be a lot of negativity or, you know, emotions flying through the collective, because there's a lot of things that happen on a collective level that may or may not be orchestrated to feed on different emotions, whether this is like anger and guilt and grief or shame or whatever it is too. So sometimes we have a lot of lower emotions that are flying around the collective at any given shift or time or whatever. And you might be noticing that a little bit more. So as someone a little bit psychically and empathically sensitive, this is a good thing, by the way, to be psychically sensitive. I feel you have to like master this in a certain way, in some ways, to be able to open up certain things. Maybe you're needing to also, we talked about grounding, but also to shield your energy. And this helps so you're not absorbing so much, whether personal level and like from people around you, and boundaries can help us with that. We talk about that every day, but also shielding yourself on a greater level from the collective. So doing some type of energy work, like I love energy barriers and things like this that can really, really help you. Take care of your energy, shield your energy. You might be very sensitive to energies flying around. So two types of energies. Okay, wow, I saw a lot on the, I don't watch the news, but I saw a lot happening on the news, and that was pretty obvious energy flying around, right? Not obvious energy, it's there. We feel it, we pick up on it. And this is why empaths are so sensitive to other people's moods and energies, that if you're hanging out with someone really grumpy at your work all day long, you'll notice it rubs off on you, and you start to, you know, mimic them, mirror them a little more, and be a little grumpy at your job too, when you weren't actually. That wasn't your energy. So we need to be a little bit mindful of energies we're picking up from those closest to us, or even collectively. Now, when it's a collective level thing, you might not even know. You could just be like in a really bad mood one day and you don't know why. It's like, well, there's a lot going on in one place. And so it could be, you know, it could be also affect your mood and things like that too, when there's a lot of negative energy flying around or whatever it is too. So this is a gift that you can feel things out. Now, I love this because sometimes people are sensitive. The collective can really easily tap into things. It's energy, right? We're talking about emotions and energy. Maybe that makes you easy or good at tapping into events and things happening, or, you know, whatever it is, different energies, or feeling them out or whatever it is. But you are a feeler. Make sure that you're also protecting your energy. Many ways you can do that. We're doing Marla. Good morning. Roots of abundance. Healing your roots, just like the tree, right? Root chakra. Okay, really going to the root to heal certain things. So sometimes we don't notice we need to heal something. I'm going to try to, the best way I can, give you what I'm being shown right now. Okay, so sometimes like we might have a cycle happening in our life and it's pretty current. Like, let's just make something up. It happened yesterday. You feel like you were in a karmic cycle that seems pretty familiar. It's a cycle that keeps happening. In fact, maybe you tend to attract the same people. They say that until you heal yourself. You know, you could get rid of a person and the same archetype can come in, or whatever it is. So we have these cycles, and the bad thing is we're not really noticing them until right now. Like, okay, we had an awakening. Suddenly I'm noticing everything in my life, but I didn't really notice when I was asleep some of the issues. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to heal something current coming up in your life right now. Okay, I've got rid of this person. They weren't very good for me, but you may continue to have the same problems because they originate from way farther back, the wounding. So in order to fully heal a cycle playing out now, a situation, a pattern that might be happening right now in your life, sometimes you're having to go back in and heal old wounds, the roots of things. It could be your root chakra or other things. Now, when we deal with, because this is such the root of something, we have to go ahead and heal a little bit deeper. And so my problem is, and I don't mind, you can do talk therapy with me all day. I don't mind it. I love it. But sometimes it's not as effective for healing the root cause of certain things, because a lot of times there's like, people are usually 10% aware of certain things and 90% is happening on the energy level. And it's not all like I can sit and talk about it and put it into words and I don't know all this stuff. So energy healing can help us so much with getting to the root of a pattern, a wound, a trauma, something in our energy field that needs resolved, so that we don't have to keep on going through the same, I call them skits in our life, skits and scenarios, and the universe trying to get our attention in an abstract kind of way. And sometimes we're getting the message and sometimes we're just like, what does all this mean in my life, right? Okay, so energy healing helps a lot with getting to the root of something. You could have something imploding in your life currently or just did, and it's like goes back so much deeper. Some of this could go into previous experiences, childhood experiences, or even past life stuff. And so a lot of what we've actually been replaying in our life, our entire life, goes into a past life level, but we usually don't remember that. we're literally trying to heal our past lifetimes here. This is what karma is. A lot of it that you brought into this life actually comes from past lifetimes that you were acting and playing out in this lifetime. So this is why energy healing, once again, can help us heal things on such a deeper level, especially if we have no awareness. A lot of your partners, friends, situations, family were actually past life people that you've been replaying certain scenarios with until you can heal them and kind of, level up out of it, so to speak. For you, some type of energy work, we covered that. Going back to your root, this is your karmic load. All souls carry karmic baggage, whether we think we're done with it or not. We carry things, we're holding on to things. This could be trauma, wounds, old karma that, still kind of comes up at certain times or replays, or you think you resolved it and, comes out later. For you, continuing to work on your healing your energy more, healing your root chakra more will help you. If there's some type of, and this is like my financial imbalance card, if there's some type of lack, scarcity around money, having a hard time attracting money, specifically abundance, but also with your manifesting. Perhaps, you're really, really looking to level up your manifesting gifts and abilities, or how you're attracting anything that you're trying to manifest, specifically money and abundance as well too. For you, really, really healing your root chakra will help you to cultivate more abundance and things like that too. So this is why healing is so powerful, because when we go in and heal certain things, we can really, really attract more and manifest more. And it's a big part of the process that we go through. Like, we have to heal. A lot of people always want to skip the healing ourselves, when it is the healing ourselves that helps us with our gifts and abundance and manifesting and all of this stuff. So one of the most important things we can do when we wake up is to work on our own healing, and obviously continuing to work on our own healing. It doesn't just stop. Right? The ones that are helping you guys to heal the most are continuing to do the work, right? So we have this work to do, work on ourselves, work on our healing. For you, base chakra, root chakra, continuing to heal whatever that karmic load is that you may have hopefully already been through, or especially anything still coming up or affecting you, patterns of your life. Let's do Heather Bennett. Good morning. The power of purpose. And I love this because it's very connected with I call it your North Node astrology, your destiny. And oftentimes you're very comfortable in your karma, South Node, holding you back energy. In fact, a lot of times we draw people, especially the first half of our life, or however long needed, there's no time stamp on this stuff, that reflect our past, whether we attract partners or people, this could be friends too, people in our life that reflect our childhood, lessons we've already been through, familiar dynamics, stuff we might be really good at this point because we've already been through it, or trying to heal people that have been through the same things we've been through. This whole category, it reflects our past. Especially, we sometimes feel comfortable with people that reflect our own past bad habits, negative traits, karmic load. That's all the karma category, right? That's the South Node. We oftentimes spend a lot of our life working through our South Node baggage, our karmic baggage we were talking about. It's only in really healing and clearing your karma to a certain percentage or a level that we can really shift into our North Node. This is how you contracted, signed up to go through a spiritual awakening and to help this planet in some type of way, sharing your spiritual gifts and abilities. The problem is we have to activate those. And while we're in karma, our karmic cycles, generally you might have had gifts, but a lot of people maybe not. It depends, okay? Maybe, they definitely could come in stronger out of the karmic cycles, pulling us backwards, right? So karmic cycles and karmic people and situations pull us backwards. You got to resolve it though. You got to move through certain lessons. They also keep us on course. We want to, at a certain point, really tap into our destiny. This is your future, where you're headed, who you're meant to be out of all of this, your role in the awakening. That's a good key to it too. Do you have certain gifts, certain things that you think you want to do, you could do, there will be revealed, okay? If you're feeling a little lost in life ever, or you just want more clarity, you want to know where you're headed or who you're meant to become, check your North Node. It's going to feel usually foreign and uncomfortable to you. You've mastered your south node. Many, many lifetimes you spent in that sign, mastering it. You are that person already, but it's also the biggest holdback. It's your comfort zone. like as we said, you tend to attract out of that. Your north node might even be a little bit of an uncomfortable sign. Now, I've found in my lifetime that I attracted a lot of people that had the same sun sign as my north node. You might even attract people, and you might find that to be challenging connection to you as the universe is sending you in certain people in your story, in your narrative, in your life to help get you there into that north node energy, which is your soul mission. It's in alignment with your soul mission, your soul purpose, who you became here to be out of the awakening, which is generally who you were before this lifetime, before you came to Earth, like literally on that other side, that other planet, that other universe, we'll call it the other side, as I say, right? Right when you were like, I'm going to Earth, like you got real excited, like you were going on some vacation holiday, right? I'm going to Earth. I've got all this planned out. That's who you were, your higher self, long before you stepped foot on this planet, lost yourself and went through all of that karma, okay? And you were like, I could do this, no problem. It's finding yourself again. It's literally to unravel all of that and to find yourself once again and to bring that through into the world. We were meant to bring through a spiritual mission. I can't remember, I think it was yesterday when I put it in my writing. That is to bring heaven to earth, to bring your mission to this planet. It's going to bring a lot of feel-good energy in your life. Like it's going to, you're going to know you're doing what you're supposed to. And when we're not doing what we're supposed to in life, when we're in situations that are holding us back and we're not living to our potential, we feel it. We don't feel good. We feel a little out of alignment or whatever it is. This is going to be your highest alignment to not only tap into that North Node energy, but to embody it and to become it here in the physical. So, destiny energy for this person, tapping into that. Let's see, Hastings Shannon, the storyteller. You ever notice you're telling stories in your head and they are playing out? And I love it because I was thinking how strange these stories are and how they maybe even could change depending on who you're talking to. You might have a different story. Same experience happened last week. You might have a different story telling your friend about it as to maybe your parent. Same experience, right? So we love to tell stories. This is the ego. It doesn't have a lot. It literally has like 5 out of 10 dots, but it's positive. It has all of the dots and pieces, and it's like telling you what's going on, even though, okay. You're always scripting. I call this scripting. And this is why I found helping people manifest scripting is a powerful tool where you begin to actually script the narratives you want. So when we're telling the old narratives, starring you as the 3D victim and everything terrible is, so not to go there, but it happens. Everything terrible is happening to you with the 3D, right? And things like that. We get out of that. We get out of all these old stories that weren't serving you based on trauma and old patterns and wounding and whatever it was. And we leave that back there, hopefully. And the powerful thing is to, right here in this place, begin to script. It could be the future you want, the next chapter, your manifestation you want. You begin to sit there and tell yourself the story you want, and it begins to happen. You begin to manifest it. Like, I know someone who was doing this as a powerful manifestation tool, and it was so effective. And it helps us also to get rid of the negative thoughts, keep them in check, and to really focus and align with what we want. Now, oftentimes, not being, whatever, we tend to tell ourselves these negative stories, and they're not what we want to live. Like, if you catch yourself and you're like playing out terrible scenarios, this could go worst case. It's like literally doomsday out of next Tuesday or whatever. And we're human, right? So when we find ourselves in these cycles of negative thinking, we tend to keep living in them. When we can shift outside of that and we can really begin to think about what we want in a very positive way only, like to script out our next story, become mindful of where are you in the story right now at this place and where do you want to go next? And we begin to think about that next chapter and to script it out and put it out into the universe. The universe would much more rather that, trust me, I'm to give us what we want and what we desire. So scripting is a powerful tool, but in order to do that, you kind of, I don't want to say it, you have to let go of the old stories that you keep on trying to bring into the new. Okay, so you have all of these stories that, yeah, these chapters happened. It was like half your book. Like, I remember these old movies, they'd have the intermission for like 10 minutes in between, maybe longer, right? Like, okay, part 1 of the movie, we're going to do a 10-minute intermission and we're going to start the second part. You're literally in the middle. I always say your 3D life was the first part. The second part doesn't even really start until you awaken. Once you awaken, it's like you got to let go of, once you heal it, you will let go of the old chapters, stories, and narratives, and really start over anew. I found it very helpful to write about my stuff too. I wrote it, started to write about it and stuff like that. It might be helpful too if you're that type of person, but to really heal and let go of everything that happened in your 3D life so that you can bring through this 5D version of yourself and actually manifest from this point moving forward the life that you deserve, that you want, that you are trying to align with. Scripting is very, very powerful, but even just healing and letting go of the, I say the poor me stories, right? Okay, we're gonna do John, thank you. Powerful move. And I love this too because this is like, and it's my little chess piece on the top, so I love the cards, right? All right, appears to be my, it looks more like a disco ball, but we'll take it as the magic 8 ball kind of symbolism. So this is like literally solar plexus work and really shifting into your power, taking back your power in any way that you need to. Sometimes we talk a lot about pulling back your energy, calling back your energy, and setting healthy boundaries that are actually serving you and making you feel a little bit better, and really shifting into this awakened energy because it is very, very powerful. So asleep, once you've awakened, you're going to notice you begin to vibrate higher, vibrate different, and you can call a lot more in, whether this is the people around you are noticing, wow, you have a strong energy. Why we have to learn how to kind of get mastery over our energy as well too. This is not making some type of rash decision or snap judgment for this card. This is really thinking through your moves. I love it because it's like the chess game, right? It's thinking about cause and effect. It's thinking about like if you have a plan, not just whimming it and going and acting, I would say emotionally and impulsively. That's the Aries energy for this moon. Don't make impulsive snap like decisions like on charged up energy. Make sure you're carefully thinking about the plan that you want, what you're doing, the moves you're making, the cause and effect out of things. And this will help you with more clarity and moving in a stronger energy of it, and a more aligned energy. So, you know, just going to throw it out there. You have a really bad day and, you know, start to make moves that aren't great. That's, sometimes we regret that. When you can really get aligned and think about where you're going and where you want to be going, what you're doing, the moves you're making, you're going to make them out of a more aligned place. This is solar plexus energy and aligning your energy and then really being strategic with whatever moves you're making next in your life. Let's do Carlos Romero. All right, I love this because it's imperfect harmony, and I love this because this is, we're getting an attunement. We say attunement. That's what I do for, you take Reiki classes off me, I give you an attunement with any of the classes I do, literally. This is an energy attunement. Think of it as initiation energy and awakening the same gifts in you. So the way I believe, and this is just me, a lot of times healing lineage is passed down through your teacher, why you want to get a teacher, right? And they will pass their power through you, through lineage, okay, with a lot of the healing. And so this helps you when you do that to get in alignment and to open up, okay? So like I always talk about with my own experiences, it was very powerful in opening up certain chakras like my crown chakra and stuff like that too. So you are unique in who you are as a person and your vibration. This is why when you guys really do the spiritual work and you like level up out of toxic situations and you start letting go of toxic habits and people and situations, the people around you may change because your vibration is changing in a good way. That means the negativity can't reach you after a certain point. It's way down here, you're up here. Like, you start to level up out of it and do this vibratory work, your whole life is going to reflect that in a very positive way. Now, no two people kind of, well, most people don't vibrate at the same tune. It's all about, you were kind of out of tune, the 3D version of yourself. You were out of alignment. This is why it didn't really reflect who you are on a spiritual awakening level or a soul level. It was a little messy. But as you go through a spiritual awakening, you begin to rise up your vibration and you begin to vibrate in alignment. A lot of this work that I'm always trying to help you guys with, is getting in alignment with your own energy, getting in tune with yourself and in tune with your own energy so that you can vibrate at your highest frequency possible, but you can really, really be in a powerful alignment. There might have been things in your past that you said yes to that you know you didn't want to do. It could have been obligation, people pleasing, making someone feel better. Could have been like your friend wanting to hang out and you knew you didn't want to, but you did. So in order to shift into alignment, sometimes we have to also start to think, is this in alignment? And really begin to act out of that place. You didn't want to go, don't go. You do want to go do something, do it. And this is how we can also shift into, it sounds easy, but we can shift into a higher and higher alignment with what is for us. You know, you knew you weren't into that hobby. Your friend was like, hey, you want to go do this? And you're like, oh, what? You went and you showed up. But if there's something that you say yes to and your soul will be screaming yes, it could be a place, a visit, a hobby, a job, you know, your soul is going to let you know when it's a yes. We need to operate our energy from a place of alignment and to get into even higher alignment. And this is why things like energy healing help us. But obviously, you know, navigating that from our core, this is once again the solar plexus message. In order to really, really be in alignment with yourself and your own soul, you have to listen to the spiritual guidance coming through so that you can kind of stay in that alignment or find that alignment too. So make sure you're tuning into how you feel about stuff. I see Etherica Riviera. Bearing fruit. I love it. This is my harvest moon coming at us. It's literally, and I know it sounds funny because we go into, I always think more like next month, but different seasons kind of bring different energies. And this is like, if you guys have been manifesting all summer, you've been putting something out there, you've been doing the work, amazing things are going to come through with this harvest moon and things like that too. And it's like, and I was trying to understand this because this is very, I don't want to go into a biblical stuff, but you know, certain fruits bears, certain trees bear certain fruits, and you're going to know that. You're going to be fruitful in your life. You're going to be abundant in your life if you're doing this work. When you're getting spiritual, it's going to show, because our lack that people may or may not have gone through was lack of alignment and lack of the spiritual. As we're bringing more and more spiritual positive energies into our life, guess what? You blossom, you bloom, you start to have all these manifestations you're gathering. Like if they're little presents, I'm being shown like little gifts, right? You start to work on things and manifest things, and you have these things. So it's like, as you're learning how to master this stuff, you're going to be able to tell by your energy, right? Some people, you know, can be a bit draining to hang out with. Some people are very abundant, and I don't mean in things, I mean in your energy, to hang around. Like you can't get enough of them, you don't mind hanging around them. Positive energy, cultivating that energy. So working on your energy, that is the energy that you're going to carry. And it's going to have such a powerful, lasting effect in your life. And this is very rewarding because we're talking about spiritual rewards, getting into this stuff. And when you're doing a good job, the universe will reward you in different little ways. Good karma coming back around, your situation changing, clearing things, manifesting things, abundance coming in unexpectedly. All sorts of beautiful rewards too. Continue to work on yourself. I love this because we have a lot of roots and trees messages, and perfect. We're in the autumn where literally the trees let go of all the dead stuff in their life. All the leaves got to go, and you know, it feels very, and that's what we're going through as well too. Remember, the deeper the roots, the stronger the tree. Going back and working on the root. When we go into autumn, we should be working on our own root chakra and like planting deeper roots, letting go of things, unpacking things, whatever's kind of coming up. So continuing to work on, once again, your root chakra, your energetic foundation, your energetic base. It's going to bring a lot of positive stuff into your life. Let's do Fred Crumble, exposed and revealed. And it's my today's great third eye energy. This is my third eye energy. You're seeing things in your own life and seeing through things and seeing things differently. This is a good thing, by the way. This means that the same tricks, yeah, there's tricks around here. The same tricks aren't working on you, whether toxic people, okay, you're kind of noticing things, collective level, whatever, I can't go there, okay? Like, you're seeing things differently, okay? You're seeing through things, you're putting together puzzle pieces and dots and whatever it is, okay? But let's go back to your own life. And sometimes this feels a little unnerving. Not everyone may see things the way you are now that you've had a spiritual awakening. You know, you could probably go talk to people that were a little closed off and they're not going to agree or whatever. That's okay. what is important is that as you're working with your third eye energy, you're able to see things more clearly. And for you, as you're getting that clarity, I was gonna say, please follow that guidance, like message coming through. Follow that guidance with what you're seeing, what you're being shown, or what you're even feeling through different situations. Because while you're seeing, the negative too, this is giving you great insight to better navigate your own personal journey and your personal path from a place of clarity and higher perspective too. So for you, as your third eye is opening, you're getting a much higher perspective. It could be kind of seeing the big picture, getting more clarity, or more clear on your journey and your path and where you're meant to be going. Really tapping into that third eye energy. It's like the mind, right? And kind of the divine, the mind merged together. So if you're getting downloads or just sitting and thinking about things, and trust what you're seeing, okay? Trust what's going on, we'll say, coming through with your mind. Okay, we're going to do Rose Claire. Okay, Mary Motive. So we're able to read intentions. I think a lot of starseeds always could, but it's getting more clear. Now, this is good because we have billions of people on the planet, and we were just talking about everything may not be aligned for you, and that's okay. So the more you can read other people's intentions, it saves you a lot of hassle. Like, okay, this feels good. Their energy feels safe. It feels good. It feels aligned. Okay. Maybe some people, when they don't have the best motives or intentions, usually it tends to trigger a strong energetic response. This is why sometimes, and this does not apply if you get anxiety around everyone, but if you're like fine around most people and you're starting to see, you're getting very anxious energy around someone, or your fight or flight's kind of going off and you find yourself going into this fear state, or your energy's getting scrambled yourself, or you're getting overloaded or even drained, right? These could be negative energetic responses around certain people, but it's also your body's alert system. And so sometimes we love to just, okay, let's just turn it off. But actually it feels things out energetically. So maybe half the planet might be aligned with you at this time, maybe half isn't, okay? Like you might be getting an offer to hang out and you're like, I don't know, I got a weird feeling. Trust the weird feelings that you get. Or if you are reading people and like their intentions aren't matching up with their words. I had a couple people talking about this with me in readings recently. Like, I could tell this person wasn't being honest with me. Like, I'm super empathic and can tell. And when you're sensing that, like whether someone's lying to you, not being honest with you, might not have good motives for you, maybe just isn't a good person by themselves, nothing to do with you, right? Or, good energy for you to hang around. Trust that right now, because your energy can pick up on a lot, like frequency and all sorts of things. So that's one gift of a starseed that I think we sometimes dismiss and downplay a lot of the time, that you can read intentions, okay? Now, as the frequencies are rising, you're going to be able to read them more and more clear, which is a good thing, by the way. We think that's a negative thing. Like, okay, well, but actually it saves you a lot of hassle. You don't have to go hang out and go through a karmic cycle with these people if it wasn't good for you. You can partake in things that are a lot healthier and better for you because you're saving hassle and time of feeling things out and reading things. And I see this happening with the awakening, which is making it a lot easier to navigate Earth and be like, oh, okay, or whatever it is. So also trust the energies that you pick up on, whether about certain people or certain situations in your life. It's to help you. Okay, Heather T. Waking up the lion. Perhaps you have a little bit of a splash of Leo or lion energy in you, or even just, being guided to connect with that higher Lyran or angelic template within you too. Perhaps for this person, you should check if you do know you have like Leo somewhere in your chart. Check that placement. Maybe you have none and this doesn't apply in that message, but if you do have Leo in your chart, I think it's very important maybe checking that place. So we'll say it might be dormant, okay? Maybe you haven't fully stepped into that. Leo is like king or queen of the jungle. I always say usually if you're parenting, it's like mama lion energy, right? Or father, but this is the woman, right? Okay, it's like that whole lion energy, that royal energy. A lot of times Leo placements were like royals in past lifetimes, and that kind of embody that or bring that with them, or even if you just have that Lyran royal connection or whatever it is too. So when I see this needing to wake up that energy, something dormant in some type of way, maybe you're needing to awaken and remember who you are more and to step into your full power with this message. If you do have Leo in your chart, I would say you need to awaken that area and maybe a little dormant in your chart and trying to get your attention. So wherever that is, whatever area that is, so every planet is an energy and an area that we need to work on. And so sometimes that's obvious, maybe sometimes not obvious, to awaken those dormant areas somehow a little bit more. So let's just make up something like if you have Lilith and Leo, you're needing to do more shadow work and awaken that and bring it to the surface. Or, you know, maybe your destiny is in Leo, your North Node is in Leo. You need to step into that energy. It's an area of your chart that you need to work with and awaken more if you do have Leo in your chart. If not, just embodying that energy. Let's do Tina Twin. The rose is a kiss. And I love the rose symbolism because it's very priestess, goddess kind of symbolism. It symbolizes the divine feminine and the goddess. So really shifting into that energy. It's a very positive spiritual message and love message as well too. But it's, you know, the secrets of the temple, the priestess, and even the rose. Maybe you're being guided to connect more with your spiritual or family of origin lineage more and kind of unravel that if you have that within your bloodline, or even just connecting with the goddess, and we'll say practices that help you to connect with the goddess more. All right, I'm going on that note, but have a beautiful day. If you do need me, you guys can always book me on my website. I'm around on sparksofdivinelightshealing.com all of the time. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.